Killing Floor Calamity is certainly one of the most surprising games made for the OUYA thus far, taking a PC shooter and smashing it down to fit inside the little box. The question is, did it survive? While it looks starkly different, the Killing Floor formula is here in all its glory, with only a few variables changed. The most obvious is point of view. Calamity takes the first-person shooter and pulls it back to a twin-stick arcade experience. Even with this radical gameplay change, it still retains nearly everything that makes Killing Floor work. While that's great and all, that also means that if you weren't a fan of Killing Floor on the PC, then this one probably won't win you over. If you aren't familiar with Killing Floor, this is how it goes. You select a perk, which grants you bonuses and determines what weapons you'll be most effective at using. Then you must survive waves of enemies and mini-bosses until you complete every wave. Between waves, you use the money you earn to buy weapons and re-equip yourself. But don't get too excited when you complete the last wave of your game, because you're not done. There is one additional wave in which you must kill the Patriarch. This bad dude is tough, and don't expect to beat him on your first try. There's a big emphasis on getting headshots in Killing Floor, because they deal more damage and conserve precious ammo. I assumed this would have to fall by the wayside in Calamity, but I was wrong. Stopping for a second and holding left trigger will line up a headshot, a crucial technique for weapons like the crossbow, a small but very useful mechanic that differentiates the game from others in the genre. All the original perks return, but with additional special abilities for each. They work on a cooldown and range from a speed boost all the way to a flamethrower turret. These abilities are where Calamity most diverts from its PC predecessor, but it's a very welcome divergence. So much so that I wish it was a part of all future and current Killing Floor games. The most glaring difference between Calamity and its predecessor is the player limit. Killing Floor has always been about a party of players working in unison to conquer the, at times, brutal difficulty. However, Calamity limits this to only 2 players, which is disappointing, but understandable once you play. Since the co-op is local only, you'll always be sharing a screen with your partner. This means the 2 of you are limited to how far you can move apart. This then results in frustrating situations where the actions of one player can box their partner into a corner of death. While undeniably annoying, if you and your partner can communicate effectively, you can help prevent these situations, and in a way, this limitation even adds to the cooperative experience. Make no mistake, this game requires cooperation to succeed. Medkits are far more effective if administered to someone else rather than yourself, and picking a good perk combination between the 2 of you, and then actually playing to each other's strengths, is a must. Unfortunately, this also means that solo play is far less interesting, because many of the cooperative mechanics are absent. If you want to play with a friend, which I recommend, you'll need a second OUYA controller, or have a PS3 lying around. For some reason, Calamity doesn't support Xbox 360 controllers, which is an odd issue, and I think it's worth noting. However, this isn't the only problem Calamity faces. The game seems to push the limits of the OUYA, causing the frame rate to be very unreliable. Moments of high action or enemy density can cause big dips in the frame rate, and adding a second player to the mix will only ensure these drops appear more often. While not game-breaking, these stutters are not fun to play through and put a damper on the experience. Killing Floor Calamity is a faithful addition to the series, keeping what makes Killing Floor, while simultaneously adding new features that enhance the game. It's not as easy to recommend this if you're going solo, but with a partner, you'll be hard-pressed to find a better cooperative shooter.